Hey, what's happening, people? In this video, I would like to touch on how you can optimize your work experience section in your CV. Actually, the reason behind that I wanted to make this video, actually, this gentleman actually joined to my community actually yesterday, and we started to work together. And he said in the call, I haven't been able to land any interviews over the past 90 days, even though I've been applying for jobs like consistently and doing applications on a daily basis, around 10 to 15 applications every day. He's been getting nothing but only rejections, probably 10 to 15 rejections on a daily basis, even after applying to jobs after 1 hour. So that means there is a, as we know, called ATS system. So that means this gentleman's application haven't been able to show in front of HR. That means he got auto rejected over and over and over again, because the problem is this type of CV doesn't work because it's too long. I mean, if you don't have more than 5 years of experience, there is no point making the CV 3 pages long. And he did that mistake actually, and it cost him actually 90 days. I mean, over the past 4 months, I helped 22 students to land their ideal jobs here in Poland, and we've been using the CV template like this to land 1 to 2 interviews on a weekly basis. And today I would like to talk about more on work experience section in your CV, which I consider by far the most important parts of your CV. You have to make your CV as appealing as humanly possible, and how you can make your CV as appealing as possible, especially the work experience part. You should use the action verbs and the numbers, and you should make each and every bullet point as short as possible with clear message. For example, if you look at the first example, this is the one of my students' CV actually, Chroma, the company type, and the job position actually P2P accountant, Mumbai, India, 2022, August 2023. So let's have a look at the first example. Optimized invoice processing in SAP for 500 plus transactions monthly, ensuring 100% compliance and accuracy while streamlining intercompany accounting across 5 entities. So as you guys can see, I always encourage my students to put, first of all, actionable, like the action verbs. Actually, the action verbs might be like the strong action verbs like led, optimized, mitigated, let's say leveraged, implemented, developed, actually managed, collaborated, like the words like this. Actually, these words are very strong, and basically it triggers the HR's attention to talk to you. And the second thing is actually you have to use numbers in your bullet points so that showcase your impact with numbers. For example, let's have a look at the second example. Collaborated within a 10 members team, like 10 member team, providing support to senior accountants and managing clients' needs through timely communication and issue resolutions. So how you can put the numbers to showcase your experience. For example, if you work in, let's say, customer service, what are the KPIs you have? And you have to sit and reflect the KPIs you have, and you can put the bullet points in a way that shows your expertise, that shows your impact back, like for example, during the employment or during the full-time job. So in let's say in sales space, it might be closing rate, it might be following up, it might be generated like income, it might be monthly or yearly or quarterly, or like optimizing something, right? So that's pretty much it. So pro tip is actually you have to put 3 bullet points for each work experience you have on your CV, which are completely different than with each other. For example, you cannot write, let's say, 2 different bullet points for communication. So each and every bullet points that you're going to mention on your CV, they should be completely different than with each other. And the second thing is actually you have to make it as relevant as humanly possible and cutting all the flow and bullshit and straight to the point. You should be like crystal clear, in terms of message, because you have only 6 to 8 seconds to catch the HR's attention, and you can only catch the HR's attention with CV template like this, which is easy to navigate, which is straight to the point, with the actionable verbs, with the numbers, and like with the impact, if that makes sense. And the second thing is actually using action verbs to highlight your leadership's characters. For example, I want you to put yourself in the company's shoes or the HR's shoes, so you feel like you understand. Companies, they like to hire people who can make decisions themselves, people who can take actions, people who can lead the team, or people who can contribute. You know what I mean? It's not about like following the orders. It's about like sitting and making good decision in terms of your position. It might be like the finance, it might be consulting, it might be sales, it might be marketing. And you have to quantify each and every activities or each and every responsibilities with using numbers. How you can use numbers to quantify your impact? That's pretty simple actually. So, for example, let's have an example. I'm talking about, let's say, sales assistant. For example, what are the responsibilities sales assistant have? It might be closing the sales, let's say, or outreaching to prospects. For example, let's say let's have an example. Implemented cold calling strategy and generated 50K USD in 90 days for online coaching. So what's the action? The action is implemented the cold calling strategy, and the results actually generated 50K for consulting. So, and you have to identify what are the KPIs you have in your current position or in your previous positions, so that you can use the numbers to showcase your impact. As I said, if you're in sales, it might be closing. If you're in marketing, like generated income, or like targeting or marketing or content creation. If you are in customer service, it might be client satisfaction, like problem solving, whatever it might be. So I want you to execute 3 things. You should make it as relevant as possible, each and every bullet point, with 3 bullet points for each work experience you have. And the second thing is you have to use the actionable verbs, and finally using numbers to quantify your impact.